Have you ever been stuck trying to explain what you do for work in English, but you just can't find the right words?
Or maybe you say your job in such a awkward way that even you cringe a little afterwards.
I've been there too. It's so common and it can be really frustrating when you want to sound natural, but end up sounding, well, a bit robotic.
Today, we're going to solve that problem. We'll make talking about your job in English feel easy and smooth, just like a real conversation.
By the end of this discussion, you'll have new phrases and tips that will completely transform how you talk about your job. You'll sound confident and natural, promise. Welcome back to my channel, Mr. English Studio.
Hey everyone, it's great to be here again with you all.
Emily, I've been thinking about how often English learners freeze up when asked simple questions like, what do you do for work? Or where do you work?
Exactly. Sometimes people just say, I work in office, or I'm a teacher of English. It's not wrong, but it doesn't sound quite right or natural.
So today we're focusing on how to talk about your job, like what your work is, where you work, and what you actually do with phrases that native speakers use all the time.
And we'll also share some common mistakes to avoid. For example, I hear a lot of people say, I'm working at company, which isn't quite correct.
Right. Instead, we say, I work at a company or I work for a company. Small words, big difference.
Plus, we'll step through how to say your job title and describe your daily tasks in a clear way. Do you think that's something many learners find difficult?
Definitely. Sometimes people only know their job title in their language, but don't know how to explain what they really do in English.
We'll give you lots of examples to practice with so you can repeat and really get comfortable.
Now, before we jump in deep, how do you usually answer when someone asks, what do you do for work?
Honestly, I often say I'm a teacher because it's simple, but I like to add something like I teach English to adults so people know exactly what I do.
That's smart. So we'll show how to expand those basic answers to sound more natural, and we'll also show you phrases to describe places where you work, your role, and even what you like about your job.
And don't worry if you sometimes get confused between job, work, and career. We'll clear that up too.
Okay, let's start with the first question people usually ask. What do you do? Do you think everyone understands that question the same way?
Hmm, good point. Some learners think it means, what are you doing right now, like at this moment? But here it means, what is your occupation?
So when someone asks, what do you do? You can answer, I'm a nurse, I work in marketing, or I'm an engineer.
Or you can say, I'm a software developer, or I'm a student. The important part is to be clear and simple.
One tricky thing is whether to use I am or I work as, or I work in. Can you explain when we use each, Emily?
Sure, we use I am plus the job title. For example, I am a doctor. But to describe where or the kind of work, we use I work in plus the field, like I work in finance.
And I work as is used when you mention the specific role you do, especially if it's temporary or one of many roles.
For example, I work as a receptionist during the summer, or I worked as a waiter last year.
Great. Now let's practice a bit. Repeat after me. I am a graphic designer.
I am a graphic designer.
I work in customer service.
I work in customer service.
I work as a cashier at a supermarket.
I work as a cashier at a supermarket.
Nice. How about you, viewers? Which of these phrases do you use in your daily life? Try saying them out loud now.
It really helps with your pronunciation and confidence.
We're going to dive even deeper, including how to describe your daily tasks and responsibilities. And remember, the most important and sometimes the most difficult part of today's conversation will be covered towards the end of the video, so stay with us.
That's right. We'll unlock some useful, natural expressions that'll make your answer stand out.
So, before we continue, Emily, what's a common mistake you hear people make when talking about their jobs?
Oh, lots. One big one is using awkward translations, like I am working in the school, instead of I work at a school or I'm a teacher at a school. The small prepositions really change the meaning.
Yep, and that's why simple but correct phrases are so important.
Exactly. And later we'll share tips to avoid these common errors and sound like a pro.
Awesome. Are you ready to get more practice with us? Because we'll keep going with real examples and easy tips to make talking about your job in English something you'll enjoy.
Can't wait. Let's help everyone speak confidently about their work.
Stay tuned, friends. There's much more coming up.
And remember, what's your job? Let us know in the comments.
That's a great way to start practicing.
See you in the next chapter.
Until then, keep speaking and stay curious.
Welcome back. Now that we've introduced how to start talking about your job, let's get a bit deeper.
Yes. Today, many learners know their job title but struggle to explain what they actually do every day. That's what we'll focus on next.
Exactly. Knowing your job title is one thing, but being able to describe your tasks clearly makes your English much more natural.
So, for example, if you say, I'm a teacher, that's good, but can you add what you teach, who you teach, and what a typical day looks like?
Like, I teach English to beginners at a language school, or I help students improve their speaking skills. That gives your listener a clearer, fuller picture.
Right. Let's practice expanding simple job sentences into fuller descriptions.
Ready? I'll say a simple sentence, Emily will build on it, and then we'll invite our viewers to try.
Sounds good.
I'm a nurse.
I'm a nurse. I take care of patients in the hospital and help doctors with treatments.
Your turn, viewers. Try saying, I'm a nurse. I take care of patients in the hospital.
Great. Let me try another one. James, say the simple sentence.
I'm a chef.
I'm a chef. I prepare meals in a busy restaurant and create new recipes for customers.
Nice. Now your turn. Repeat, I'm a chef. I prepare meals in a busy restaurant.
Fantastic! Adding these extra details helps you sound more engaging and gives listeners more to talk about with you.
Absolutely. Now, what about talking about where you work? That's another key piece.
Yes, because saying I work in an office is okay, but can you say the industry or company type?
Instead of just I work in an office, say I work in an advertising agency or I work in a bank.
Exactly. Here are some examples for viewers to repeat.
I work in a hospital.
I work in a marketing agency.
I work in a software company.
James and Emily together.
Repeat after us. I work in a hospital.
I work in a marketing agency.
I work in a software company.
Great practice. Now, sometimes people get confused saying I work at versus I work in.
Good point. Use at for specific companies or places, like I work at Google or I work at a school.
And use in for industries or fields, like I work in education or I work in healthcare.
Let's try examples with both.
I work at a bank.
I work in finance.
Repeat these two. Which one fits your job? Say it out loud.
Another useful phrase is I'm employed by, which sounds a bit more formal.
Like, I'm employed by a construction company, or I'm employed by an international hotel.
Perfect for interviews or formal introductions. Now, here's a common question learners ask me. How do I describe my job if I do many things?
Ah, that's when phrases like my job involves or my responsibilities include are perfect.
For example, my job involves answering customer questions and handling complaints.
Or my responsibilities include managing a team and preparing reports.
Let's try these.
Repeat after me. My job involves answering customer questions.
My responsibilities include managing a team.
Great. These expressions show you know what you do and sound professional, not just giving a job title.
Before we move on, Emily, what's a simple tip to sound more natural when talking about your job?
Try to use short, clear sentences instead of long, complicated ones. And use everyday words. Don't overthink or translate word for word.
Yes, and don't forget to add a little personality or something you enjoy about your job. It makes your conversation more interesting.
Like, I work as a teacher and I love helping students improve their English.
Beautiful. Now, quick question for our listeners. Which phrase do you find easiest to say? Which one do you want to practice more?
Type your answers in the comments or say them out loud right now.
Stay tuned because the most important and sometimes the trickiest part of talking about your job in English is coming up soon.
That's when we get into how to answer follow-up questions naturally. You don't want to miss it.
Thanks for practicing with us so far. Let's keep going.
Welcome back. Now we're at a really exciting part of our conversation about talking about your job in English.
That's right. We've covered how to say your job and explain what you do, but many people find it hard to handle follow-up questions naturally.
Exactly. The most important and sometimes the most difficult part of today's discussion is how to answer questions like, what do you like about your job? Or why did you choose this career?
These questions can make you nervous if you don't know the right phrases or aren't ready with simple answers.
So let's break it down. First, how do you answer, what do you like about your job in a natural way?
A great way is to mention something specific you enjoy, then add why. For example, I like working with people because I enjoy helping them solve problems.
Yes, saying I like, followed by a reason, makes your answer clear and interesting.
And don't forget to use natural expressions. Instead of I like my job, you can say I really enjoy my job or I love what I do.
Let's practice some sentences that learners can use.
Repeat after me. I really enjoy working with my team because we always support each other.
I love helping customers find solutions to their problems.
What I like most about my job is the chance to learn new things every day.
Perfect. Now, what if someone asks, why did you choose this career?
That's a very common and useful question, especially in interviews or new conversations.
A good structure to answer is to mention your motivation and something personal.
For example, I chose to be an engineer because I've always been interested in how things work.
Or, I became a teacher because I like helping others learn and grow.
Repeat these with me. I chose to be an engineer because I've always been interested in how things work.
I became a teacher because I like helping others learn and grow.
Now, sometimes people struggle when they don't remember to use the past tense in answers about career choices.
That's right. You usually use past tense here because you're talking about a decision you made before.
So instead of I choose this career, say I chose this career.
That small change will make your English sound much more natural and correct.
Now, let's talk about handling questions about your typical workday.
Yeah, this is a fun one. When people ask, what does a typical day at work look like for you? It's a chance to show off your skills.
You can start with, usually, I start my day by, and then describe a few tasks.
For example, usually I start my day by checking emails and planning the day. Then I meet with my team to discuss projects.
Or, I spend most of my day answering customer calls and solving their problems.
That gives the listener a clear picture and helps you practice using present simple tense.
Want to try it now? Repeat. Usually, I start my day by checking emails.
I spend most of my day answering customer calls.
Don't worry if it feels a little tricky at first. Practice makes perfect.
Absolutely. Now, here's a fun question for our listeners. What do you want to add when someone asks about your job? Do you like talking about your tasks or what you enjoy most?
Share your thoughts with us. It's a great way to practice writing and speaking.
Remember, using these simple sentence structures and phrases will help you speak about your job confidently in any conversation.
And the best part? The more you practice, the more natural it feels. Soon, talking about your work will be just like chatting with a friend.
We are almost ready to wrap up this chapter, but before that, Emily, what's one quick tip you'd give about sounding natural when you talk about your job?
Use linking words like because, so, and to connect your ideas. It makes your answers flow better and sound more fluent.
Good advice. For example, I love my job because I get to meet new people sounds better than a short, disconnected sentence.
Right, and try to smile when you speak. It naturally makes your voice sound friendlier and more confident.
Thanks, Emily. Okay, everyone, keep practicing these phrases and get ready for more fun in the next chapter.
And don't forget, which part of today's lesson did you find most useful? Tell us.
See you soon for more real conversation practice.
Bye for now.
Welcome back. Now that you've learned how to talk about your job and answer common questions, let's focus on making your English even more natural and fluent when describing your work.
Yes, today's focus is on using useful expressions and connectors that will help your sentences flow smoothly, just like native speakers do.
And remember, we want to make your English sound conversational and relaxed, not stiff or textbook-like.
Absolutely. One trick is to use phrases that show confidence, like I'm responsible for or I'm in charge of.
For example, I'm responsible for managing a small team, or I'm in charge of customer service.
Those phrases make your role sound clear and professional, which is great for job interviews or casual chats.
Let's practice together. Repeat after me. I'm responsible for managing a project.
I'm responsible for managing a project.
I'm in charge of ordering supplies.
I'm in charge of ordering supplies.
Another useful phrase is, my main task is, which helps you highlight your most important duties.
Like, my main task is to create content for the company's website.
Try it. My main task is to create content.
Fantastic. Now, sometimes we want to explain things in more detail. Using connectors like, for example, such as, or like makes your answer richer and more interesting.
Good idea. For instance, I help people, such as customers, who have questions or problems.
Or I work with different teams like marketing and sales.
Repeat these with me. I help people, such as customers, who have questions.
I work with different teams like marketing and sales.
Great! These little words make your speech sound natural and connected.
Another tip is to use verbs that explain your work clearly, like organize, plan, solve, manage, or assist.
For example, instead of saying, I do tasks, say, I organize meetings, or I solve technical problems.
Precise verbs add power to your English and sound much better.
Ready for some practice? Repeat. I organize meetings every week.
I organize meetings every week.
I solve technical problems for customers.
I solve technical problems for customers.
Fantastic. Now, here's a quick role play with you, Emily. I'll ask a question and you'll answer using some of these new phrases.
Sounds fun.
Okay. Emily, what are your main responsibilities at work?
At my job, I'm responsible for preparing lesson plans. I also help students improve their speaking skills, such as practicing conversation and pronunciation.
Wonderful. You used I'm responsible for and such as perfectly.
Thank you. Now your turn. James, what do you do?
I manage the content for Mr. English Studio. My main task is to create engaging lessons that help learners practice real English.
Perfect. That was clear and natural.
Now, students, try to answer, what are your main tasks? Can you describe them using I'm responsible for or my main task is? Give it a try out loud.
Keep practicing these phrases every day to build confidence.
One last tip. When you add small details about what you like or find challenging, your conversation becomes much more interesting.
Like, I enjoy my job because I meet new people, or one challenge is learning new software.
Exactly. This also helps the person you're talking to learn more about you.
Before we finish this chapter, James, any advice for our listeners about practicing speaking about their job?
Yes, speak out loud as much as possible, whether to yourself, friends, or a language partner. The more you use these phrases, the more natural they will become.
And don't be afraid to make mistakes. Every mistake is a step closer to fluency.
Great encouragement, Emily. All right, everyone, keep practicing and get ready for our final chapter where we'll combine everything into easy conversations.
And remember, which new phrase from today's lesson was most useful to you? Let us know.
See you soon for more fun and learning.
Bye for now.
Welcome back. Now it's time for the final chapter, putting everything together into a real, natural conversation about your job.
Yes, we've learned how to say what we do, describe tasks, talk about where we work, and answer follow-up questions confidently.
In this chapter, we'll practice a full dialogue between two people meeting for the first time and talking about their jobs.
I'll ask some questions, and you can listen and repeat the answers. Then, you can try making your own versions.
Ready? Let's start.
Hi, nice to meet you. What do you do?
I'm a graphic designer. I work at a marketing agency. I create logos and design websites for our clients.
That sounds interesting. What do you like about your job?
I really enjoy being creative and seeing my designs come to life. It's exciting to help companies build their brand.
Nice. What does a typical day look like for you?
Usually, I start by checking emails, then I have meetings with the team to discuss projects. After that, I spend most of the day designing and revising artwork.
Great. Now, let's switch roles. James, can you ask me?
Sure. So, Emily, what do you do?
I'm an English teacher. I work at a language school. I teach adults how to improve their speaking and writing skills.
That's wonderful. What do you enjoy most about teaching?
I love helping students gain confidence. It's really rewarding when they start speaking more naturally.
What are your main responsibilities?
My main tasks include preparing lesson plans, organizing classes, and giving feedback on student work.
Excellent. Listeners, did you notice how natural their conversation sounded? Now, try repeating some parts after us.
I'm a graphic designer. I work at a marketing agency.
I create logos and design websites for our clients.
Usually, I start by checking emails and having team meetings.
I'm an English teacher. I teach adults how to improve their speaking skills.
My main tasks include preparing lesson plans and organizing classes.
Excellent. Now, try making your own short conversation about your job. Remember to use phrases like I'm responsible for, I work at, and I enjoy.
Don't worry if it feels hard at first. With practice, you'll get better every day.
And here's a final question for you. In your conversations, which questions about your job do you want to practice most? Let us know in the comments.
Thank you for joining us in this journey to speak naturally about your job in English.
If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, don't forget to like and subscribe.
See you next time. Keep practicing and stay confident.
Bye, everyone.
Bye!